If you have a Bermudagrass lawn, what you do in the first few weeks of spring can make the difference between a lawn that struggles all year and one that turns into a thick, green, lush carpet by summer. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that I take to prepare my Bermuda lawn for spring. This includes what to do before it wakes up, when to start fertilizing, and some mistakes that homeowners make that can actually slow down your lawn. All right, what's going on, everyone? Eric here with the Average Homeowners YouTube channel, and today I'm wearing green. And why am I wearing green? Because the lawn is about to come to life. It's about to turn a deep shade of green. We got our first spring rains. That's why we're in the shop today. Love to be out there dethatching, scarifying, tearing some stuff up, and showing you everything about it. But I figured I'd sit here in the shop and make a video where we talk about how to prep your lawn in the spring. If you've been to the channel before, you know this is where we talk about lawn care, home maintenance, and all the real things that homeowners deal with. And today, like I said, we're talking about spring preparation for Bermuda grass. Bermuda is a warm season grass, which means it goes dormant during the winter and then explodes with growth once the temperatures warm up. But if you want that thick golf course looking grass, spring is when you need to set the foundation for the entire season. And the first step is to clean up your lawn. The first thing I like to do in early spring is to clean up the lawn after winter. During the winter months, lawns collect all kinds of things like debris, leaves, sticks, dead grass, needles, pine needles. I hope it's not collecting needles. I guess, unless we're in Seattle, but I don't think they have Bermuda grass in Seattle, so I guess that's irrelevant. Anyway, the first step is simple. Get out there with a rake or a leaf blower or your fingers and clear the lawn surface. Step 2 is that you're going to want to check your soil temperatures. One mistake that homeowners make is starting lawn treatments too early. Bermuda grass really starts waking up when soil temperatures reach around 55 to 60 degrees consistently. If you start fertilizing before that, you can encourage the weeds to grow instead of your Bermuda to grow. So I like to keep an eye on soil temperatures before beginning the next steps. So let's say that your lawn is already in the right temperature range. You can go ahead and move on to step 3, which is to apply a pre-emergent. This step can make a huge difference in how your lawn looks later in the year. A pre-emergent herbicide is going to help treat and prevent weeds like crabgrass, goosegrass, and other summer weeds that you're going to have growing throughout the year. Now, you may need to use a post-emergent throughout the entire summer, but the key with pre-emergent is timing. You want to apply it before those weeds start germinating, which usually happens when the soil temperatures approach the mid-50s. Once those weeds start growing, it's much harder to control them. On to step number 4, the first mow of the season. Once the lawn starts waking up, it's time for the first mow of the year. And for Bermuda lawns, many homeowners like to do what's called, who got it? Who said it in their head? Who thought it? The scalp. This means mowing the grass lower than usual, as low as you possibly can, almost down to the dirt, to remove the dormant brown material from all of last year's mows and the winter. This is going to allow your grass to get more sunlight, a faster green up, and a stronger spring growth season. Just be careful not to scalp too aggressively, if that's a thing, if your lawn is still dormant. You want to make sure that it's starting to grow before you hit it with that scalp. Now, before we move on to step 5, after you scalp is also the time when you can do things like scarify and dethatch and put down sand to level your lawn. We're going to have videos on all that coming in the future. So if you want to see them, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff in the yard this summer, and mine is a little more challenging just because we've got an acre, and so the front yard is like over a third of an acre, so it takes a lot more time and effort and also materials to get these things done. So we don't move as quickly as some channels, but I do get it done, and I'd love for you to come along on that journey with me. But step number 5 is to fertilize at the right time. This is where a lot of homeowners get excited. Fertilizing the lawn. Spring's here, the flowers are blooming, the rain is falling, but timing matters. You don't want to fertilize Bermuda too early. A good rule is to wait until the lawn is about 50% green before applying your first nitrogen fertilizer. This ensures the grass is actively growing and able to use those nutrients. Bare spots. Next, we're going to address bare spots in your lawn. spring is a good time to look for thin areas, bare spots, and overcompacted soil. Depending on the condition of your lawn, you might want to consider a few different things. You could do a light top dressing, you could do soil amendments, and you could encourage Bermuda to spread into those areas by applying, like I said, just a little topsoil, maybe some humic acid, or even a light spike aeration or aeration treatment, depending on your budget, time frame, and whether you really want to get that complicated with it. Bermuda spreads aggressively through runners and stolons, so once you improve the conditions for it to grow into, it often fills in naturally. Step number 7, start your watering schedule. As temperatures warm up, your Bermuda lawn will begin to grow rapidly. That's when you'll want to begin a consistent watering schedule. Most Bermuda lawns perform best with about 1 inch of water per week. That includes rainfall. And the way you're going to want to do it, as you've seen in some of my other videos, I harp on this. Deep, infrequent watering that encourages stronger root growth. You've heard me say it many times before. Light waterings every day aren't going to get the job done. You're going to want to water. If your sprinkler system has a soak setting, you may want to use the soak setting where it rotates between zones so that it has time to soak in while applying that water. I generally go once every 5 days during the summer for 15 to 25 minutes per zone and use the soak setting to allow that moisture to penetrate deep into the ground and promote those deep, healthy roots. Here's a few of the mistakes that I see homeowners make every single year. They fertilize too early, they skip the pre-emergent, they mow too high during the green up season, they ignore soil temperatures, and they wait too long into the season to start their lawn care. Avoiding these can make a huge difference in how your lawn performs. For me personally, the biggest improvements I saw in my lawn happened when I started focusing on spring preparation instead of trying to fix problems in the middle of the summer. When you get these early steps right, Bermudagrass really takes off once the heat arrives. If you want a thick, healthy Bermuda lawn this year, focusing on these spring preparation steps can set you up for success. And once Bermudagrass gets going, it can grow incredibly fast when conditions are right. So good luck with your spring lawn prep. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Average Homeowners channel. I make videos about lawn care, home maintenance, and homeowner tips that actually work. And let me know in the comments, what steps are you working on right now to get your Bermuda lawn ready for spring? If you haven't saw my video on watering schedule and taking care of your Bermudagrass, check this one out right here. And if you've already seen that one, go ahead and take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.